All right, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the all new MacBook Air 15-inch, and I've got it here. It's over there. And I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing and first impressions. So let's get to the unboxing. All right, so this is the box that the MacBook Air came in straight to my place. I like this unboxing experience because they give you the tab to just pull it open, and it's kind of like an unveiling in itself. And then, once you take it out, all of the wording around the sides of it is actually the same color as the Mac that is on the inside. So this is the midnight color. It also comes in starlight, silver, and space gray. I think midnight is the best color. It just looks so good. It's like a matte dark blue. And then this model is the 8GB of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage model. It is the base model, and here is what it's like. It felt really light taking it out of the box, but not as light as I had thought. So we'll just put it to the side and see what else is in the box. And much like the smaller version, you get a color matched MagSafe charger. Super cool. I really like this color. I wish they did this on the MacBook Pros. And then the paperwork, of course, boring, but I wanted to see, do the stickers match? And they do indeed match the color of the computer. Very nice touch. You will see this also like on the iMac Pro, where the stickers were matte black. This is the only thing I changed about the computer, by the way. I got the 70-watt charger with one port. When you order this, by default, they'll give you the 35-watt dual USB-C charger. But of course, the 70-watt charger will charge faster. It's smaller and lighter than the 65 or 90-watt chargers. And here you can hear me opening it up. Love that crisp sound, and I kind of ripped the paper a little bit, so that's why I slid it off. But it looks wonderful and immediately has fingerprints on it, because this color just loves to attract fingerprints. Kind of hard to open it up, but yeah, you can kind of see right here, massive trackpad, and then no speaker grills flanking the keyboard. I'll mention later again, but the keyboard hides the speakers. The speakers come out from the vent between the screen and the lower deck, so something to keep in mind. It does have two subwoofers now, whereas the smaller model had one. I went through the setup process real quick, set it up like a new Mac, and just wanted to show you a little bit of what it looks like. You can see it has a notch much like the Pro. I downloaded Final Cut on here. I wanted to try to see if I can edit this video on there, and brought up a video, just random Mr. Beast video. Screen looks really great. You can tell it's not the same caliber as the ProMotion displays on the MacBook Pros, but still looks really great. It gets pretty bright, bright enough to use in direct sunlight, which is when I was using this in the video. And it's a Liquid Retina display. It looks wonderful. And then you still get a headphone jack, by the way, 2 Thunderbolt ports, and it weighs 3.3 pounds. It's got 6 speakers with those force canceling woofers like mentioned before, an 18-hour battery life. I feel like this is a little bit less after using this during the week, and starts at $12.99. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about what it's like to actually use it. And currently I have the MacBook Pro 14-inch with the M1 Max chip. So it's a little bit different. The biggest noticeable difference for me is the screen. So on the MacBook Pro 14-inch, you have the Pro XDR display with the ProMotion. That actually makes a huge difference as compared to the MacBook Air. The MacBook Air, regardless, has a great screen. It's super good. It looks way better than those older generation MacBook Airs that had the big silver bezels on them. But regardless, people who are probably shopping for the MacBook Air 15-inch really won't notice a difference if they aren't coming from a MacBook Pro already of the newest generation. So the screen is wonderful. It gets pretty bright. It is very responsive. It's not 120 hertz, but that's fine because a lot of the workload on this computer will be like Word docs or PowerPoints, surfing the web, things like that, at which this computer excels. You can even do some video editing on it, which I'll attempt to video edit this exact review on that computer. It is fanless. The current model that I have, as mentioned, is the 8 gig RAM, 256 gig storage model in the blue color. They call it Midnight, and I think it looks super good. It's a little odd. You've probably heard that, you know, the speakers are coming from the vent that's below the screen and where the keyboard meet, but on the Pro models, the speakers are on the sides, and then this computer also has, you know, pretty big borders around the keyboard on the sides, but there's no speakers. It's just flat metal. So it's a little odd if you are used to kind of, you know, seeing those speakers on the sides. But regardless, the sound is good. I've tested it out with some music. It sounds really good for a computer where the speakers are not firing right at you, and it's so thin and light. Of course, it's not super duper light. You will feel it, but the weight is spread out pretty well that if you're using it, you know, sitting on the couch or if you're in an airplane and such, it's very usable. And to be frank, coming from the 14-inch MacBook Pro and going to this 15-inch computer, I didn't notice a huge difference in the screen size. It wasn't something where, you know, I would rather use that than the 14-inch. Of course, if you're coming from the MacBook Air that is smaller, the 13-inch ish model, it will be a noticeable difference, but it's not as drastic as a difference as you might think. It is nice. You're not going to fit a ton more things on the screen, but what you can fit will be easier to see. Now, at the price tag that it currently is at, it's $12.99. And the thing is, you can find the MacBook Air of the newest generation, be it the M1 or the M2 chip, for pretty reasonable prices. I've seen it at Costco for $8.99. You can get it with the education discount at like $9.99. So for getting pretty much the same computer, I would go for that smaller one, especially in this price point where you are cognizant of the cost. And once you start upgrading this computer to specs that are more favorable, maybe with more storage or more RAM, you're getting pretty close to the price of a MacBook Pro. And the MacBook Pro I have, you can now get for under $2,000, be it might be refurbished or used, but it's such a good computer, and I've had this for some time now, and I've seen no degradation in the speed and the ability to use it to its full potential. And frankly, you get a lot more for your money when you get the MacBook Pro. So if you're looking at getting the 500 gig model with 16 gigs of RAM on the MacBook Air 15-inch, at that point, you're almost at $2,000, and I would say go for the MacBook Pro 14-inch, maybe from last year. So that's really something to consider when you're looking at this laptop. It's in an odd in-between place where if you get the base model, which is 8 gigs and 256 storage, it really is more of a browsing and document writing machine, which it does great. The battery life is insane. I actually was able to use my MagSafe charger that I have for my MacBook Pro, which is a 90-watt charger, with the new MacBook, which is cool. But I do like how the color matched cables are with the MacBook Airs. I wish they did that with the Pros, but it is what it is. But you know, it's tough. It's a tough decision to make with the 15-inch. I think it's a very niche crowd that will want this device, seeing as even though it's larger, because it's using a larger screen, it does have a larger battery, but the battery life is about the same as the smaller model, which, you know, is not pushing as many pixels. So that's definitely something to consider. Would I go for the 15-inch MacBook Pro? No. Frankly, no. I would go for the smaller one, the cheaper one, and then if you actually want the power, or if you're gonna start speccing up the 15-inch MacBook Pro, just go for the 15-inch MacBook Air, just go for the Pro. It's a great computer, there's nothing wrong with it, but it just, at its price point and what it is, it doesn't make sense for most people. That's my take. Might be a hot take, or it might be a common take, not sure, but I hope this video was useful to y'all, and please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.